The main purpose of the E-MDT in our county has been collaboration and really making sure that all of the disciplines are in the same room and bringing to the table what they know how to do and particularly what they know how to do best. So it's been an amazing experience getting to know people and getting to know what I don't know, especially in what I can't do, and making sure that we have people that kind of fit into that puzzle so that we're really bringing a full perspective to the case review and also hopefully the best services that we can for our victims.
That was so well said. That's absolutely so critical as we have been learning from each other what our strengths are and what our limitations are. And we share those strengths and limitations with each other so we know what we can and cannot do.
Prior to MDTs, we were all kind of working in a silo. And it's not effective when you're working by yourself and trying to get help for victims. So when we do these E-MDTs, we all work together, we come together, we have ideas that we share. And one of the most surprising things for me as a participant is always the knowledge of all of the other members that's out there. And somebody always has a little piece that's a huge piece that they contribute.
I come from an interesting perspective, being a social worker and providing social services for victims. At the MDTs, when we have a case, I will listen, sort of, if you don't mind. I become a little ADA myself, and I kind of listen to what is being presented and saying, is there a role for us in this particular situation? Because so often elder abuse cases, they're immoral, but they're not always criminal. And so the DA's office either doesn't become part of it or we become a small piece of it if we can prosecute, because the bigger issue is making this victim whole, making them safe.
And I think that's really important, that part of the team is there may be players that are sitting at the table that can provide services that are outside of a prosecution, right? And as a prosecutor, we need to realize that not every case needs to go to court, not every person needs to go to state prison, but every victim needs help.
And there's the MDT to say, hey, I'm presenting this case. Do you have any more ideas about what other supports can be brought to make this person more secure? So I think for prosecutors, it must be just a wonderful thing to know, hey, this person isn't going to just be dropped and be out of our sphere forever. There will be other people looking after him or her.
Absolutely. When there is a case that's very clearly criminal from the outset, the E-MDT also allows us to really better investigate that so that we're doing kind of the traditional, everybody's going in together. We're not re-victimizing this person. It's trauma-informed interviewing, trauma-informed investigative process. So it's been very good on our end too to be able to almost call a halt and say, no, this one's ours. But everyone has a piece to bring to that, but we're all going to do it together, and we're going to do it with an eye towards the fact that this is going to be put together for a criminal case. And that builds stronger cases and does better for the victim in that situation as well.
When I started doing elder abuse, I had a pretty large learning curve. I think that, back in the day, if a case came in and there was a power of attorney, the assumption was, well, we can't prosecute that. They had a power of attorney. We can't do anything with that. In my county, we are very aggressive with powers of attorney cases. I honestly would prefer a power of attorney case over other cases because I think that I have more solid reasons and ways to be able to prosecute it. I think that is something I've learned through the MDT, and something I think the MDT also has given me more confidence to kind of push the envelope a little bit, because I have people sitting there who are very passionate and really believe what they're doing with all their heart.
And it always involves more than just the social service agency, more than just the district attorney's office. The collaboration and the sharing of resources has been critical, certainly for the DA's office, and I hope the DA offices have been critical to the social service agencies at the table.
Absolutely. It's sort of a puzzle, right? I mean, we're putting pieces of the puzzle together. And sometimes you have meetings where there may be a piece missing, and we all recognize that. And we say, well, we need to reach out to this agency, and they need to be here. One of the biggest pieces to our MDT that has been the most beneficial is the forensic accountant. I think that, police officers don't go to school to add numbers. I didn't go to law school to add numbers. And the forensic accountant breaks it down to a point that's understandable. And that's always what we want as a prosecutor, an expert who can explain it in layman's terms.
We have a lot of an educational piece too, to be able to articulate, here's what we're looking for, and here's how we can prosecute these cases successfully. And then there's a lot of follow-up. So in terms of continuing to work with those detectives, continuing to educate the agencies who maybe haven't done it before, and we can then put together a product and a case that we can move forward.
And I think too, we provide the ability to sometimes bring other players in who may be a little bit more reluctant to join. If they know we're invested and we're going to do the case and we're going to prosecute the case, it sort of legitimizes it a bit and makes them more willing to want to participate.
You get that feeling at your own meetings, at your MDT meetings. You see and feel, it's like visceral, the dedication of everybody who sits around that table. And it on every level, personally and professionally, it's probably one of, if not the most validating and experience and extraordinary experience I have ever had. I can't say enough good about the MDTs and the people who are represented at those meetings.
I have had other DA's offices call me when they're looking to start MDTs. Actually, several in the last year have called to have conversations with me and ask me what my recommendation was and what I thought of this. And my first response is, why wouldn't you? You're bettering yourself, you're bettering your office, you're improving services to victims. I think that the MDT is very inclusive, meaning everybody can be part of it and everybody's voice is heard when we're sitting around the table.
It's been an absolute rewarding experience on every level, professional level, personal level. The ability to better prosecute cases because of what I've learned from other people, having other prosecutors around the state who are on board with this idea and being able to bounce ideas off them and say, hey, have you encountered this? What witness would you call in this situation? So just the more people that know about this and know how to do it and get behind the idea that this is a prosecutable case, I think it's really better.
We're not prosecuting because we're looking to make $1 million a year. We believe in justice. We believe in helping victims. And everybody who sits at that MDT has the same kind of moral compass and the same values that we have as prosecutors. And we all really do want the same thing. And I think everybody recognizes that.